Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
So let me tell you, I didn't even know what the show was. I think I may have seen like a little bit of a thumbnail somewhere, and I forgot about it. So I had no idea that The Eyes of Wakanda, that dropped August 1st, 2025, only a few days ago. I didn't even know it was coming on Disney Plus. So today, I mean, it's a later drop, and you guys know when we do a later drop, it's because I've fallen into something. I try and do 8 a.m. drops for and 8 p.m. drops for every single podcast episode. Some days we do one, some days we do two. We're marching towards 2 a day. I'll do an update episode on that down the road. So today, it's this. I'm not even sure how to classify this. Eyes of Wakanda. It's an episodic anthology, computer animated, computer generated series available right now on Disney Plus. It leans heavily into a lot of the mythology that we know through Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This is also a lead-in to the live action that Disney Plus has coming. Now, around this series, we have 4 episodes. They're all fantastic, guys. I don't even want to tease it. This is fantastic. This is a must-watch. This is maybe... Here's the wild thing. This might be the best single item since Infinity War of anything connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I wasn't crazy. I mean, just talking animation, wasn't crazy over X-Men 97. Maybe, I mean, that's so, I get so much pushback on that. I wasn't crazy for the Spider-Man animated, the cell-looking animated series. I even forget the name of that. The freshman years, the high school years. Eyes of Wakanda. It's a step towards everything that made that first Black Panther movie absolutely cool. Now, Ryan Coogler, we talked about him recently with Sinners, aka Powders. I wasn't fully on board with. I mean, it's a fantastic, incredible production. It's a great piece of entertainment. I think Sinners, it got the sin of Sinners is that too many people compared it to Dusk Till Dawn. I don't think it has much of a comparison from Dusk Till Dawn, but I thought the character arcs, I loved everything at the end of that movie, and I do want to re-explore it. Ryan Coogler, behind his Proximity Media, behind Creed 3. Creed 3, in my view, a little bit of a misfire. And it's just personal. I think Creed 3, again, fantastic, incredible movie. I just wanted to see more of Jonathan Majors. I thought it should have been the Jonathan Majors movie. I would love Creed 4 to be the rise of Jonathan Majors. I think his character is truly heartbreaking, and just Majors in general. So we're kind of talking about Coogler a little bit, just because they put him in front of everything with this Ironheart series that I was confused. Do I need to re-explore Ironheart? Maybe. Was there too much conversation about it? That's a little bit of the world we live in, where it's hard to go into something fresh. And, we're going full circle here, so stick with me. We're going to land this plane. Ironheart. I think it's a great villain origin story. Like, holy crap. Do I want him to go the route of the villain for Ironheart? Like, I do. I just think it works so well. It's set up. She makes a deal with the devil at the end. Like, all systems are go. I've recently, through Ironheart, re-explored Wakanda Forever, and originally, what I thought was the break of that movie, I got past. And I watched just more of that movie with fresh eyes. Again, it's hard to go into fresh sometimes. You have to wait years. And that's what That's what I've been trying to do here. So, do I think Ryan Coogler gets a little bit too much hype? Do I think him in Proximity Media, Proximity Entertainment, do I think it's a little bit much? I think they have a great website. I love their website, by the way, guys. But we have this. I know it was coming, and it drops. And then, here we go. So we talk about, I'm just going by a quick search. This show is created by a guy named Todd Harris. He's a storyboard maestro. John Wick, his accolades go on and on. Immediately, I mean, I'm talking within the opening credit sequence, you see a level of fight choreography that's better than most when it comes to animation. We have a visionary opening credit sequence. You guys know I absolutely love opening credit sequence. It's like kind of like a chalk on a granite wall type texture, and it just like breaks and chunks off. It's really cool stuff. So I give a lot of why I loved this show so much. I give so much of it to Todd Harris. I think he is the unsung hero because Ryan Coogler is attached to this. He developed it. He's behind some of the production. I'm sure he's he's watching a lot of this. Disney and Marvel, they were right to hand Black Panther off to him, and it seems like his production company is right. They're fostering a lot of this extended Black Panther content, and I think we're better for it because I do feel like the Wakanda stuff is kind of like the best thread that we have now in the MCU, and I say that in just my position now of watching as much as I have now. I'm not fully like up to date on everything that they've been dropping connected to Marvel phases 4, 5, 6. I think we're getting into phase 7 already. So that opinion can change, and that's a lot of what we do here on the Film Buff podcast. You guys know every weekend we do animation, we do cartoons. I bumped a Fantastic Four episode that was kind of about the 90s. So real quick, in the 90s, we have this Fantastic Four cartoon that again is trashed, but I go back to it often because it has the retelling of a lot of stories, or like a little bit of a 90s update on a lot of the classic Fantastic Four that I know now like we'll never get in any other form. And even in the 90s, the Galactus episodes are hugely important because we won't quite get that in live action. And that's always what the path of animation is. And we're talking about Eyes of Wakanda, where every single one of these stories deserves live action. And that's praise. There's this Achilles one that really blew me. I mean, this Achilles one blew me away. Legend of Lies. I believe it's episode 2. Episode 3 is Iron Fist. Like you can kind of say they brought back Iron Fist. They salvaged Iron Fist from the Netflix stuff. You want this Iron Fist live action. And The Last Panther, directed by Todd Harris. Absolutely. I mean, I don't even want to tease that. For a episode 4, it felt like it was the end of a 3-act play, and it's hard to get that impact when it comes to a anthology because everything's like a one-off. I feel we need more. I was disappointed when I saw that. I was like done with the episodes. I was working in my I've been really chipping away at this giant sketchbook project, guys, and I was taking a lot of notes on the positioning. So be on the lookout. We'll drop that on YouTube. The AKAPAD Army will drop that on YouTube. So I'm there, and I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm in the creative flow state. I'm more in like an admin flow state and getting these ideas out. And Disney Plus does their thing, and they hit they hit Wakanda Forever because I was watching that still. So it goes from episode 4 into Wakanda Forever, and I was just this way. I went back. I hit the back button, and I'm like, oh, there's gotta be like maybe. And sometimes they'll have the thumbnails with the announcements. I'm like, oh, maybe like they're dropping more episodes. I mean, it can't be 4. It just can't be 4. So when you're kind of craving and you're wanting more and more on this level, again, this is why we praise Todd Harris. And I went to his Instagram, and I wish he had more to his IG. I think I wish he had more of a presentation, I'll say, because his drawing style, I'll say, and given it's a storyboard style, so it's not really an illustrative style, but he has a way of shortening the hand, overlapping forms to show more motion. A lot of these things you look for, and storyboard art it's like part illustration, it's part animation, it's strictly storyboard. You look at his stuff. And it's easy to see talent, ability, know-how. I'm hoping we get more of them. I'm hoping we get more of this series. But I felt like it's, again, like sometimes when we do these episodes, we put someone's name in front of it. Ryan Coogler deserves accolades and attention. There's a lot, like really, I just think his view of it all put Black Panther like on the map like forever when it comes to Marvel Comics. And up until that time, Black Panther was, like a C-list level, like very similar to Iron Man. Everything that happened with Chadwick Boseman, like just horrible, depressing stuff. But I feel like Disney should do a special on this guy. Like bring us to him. Bring the cameras into his studio. His methods, like all of it. I think it's valuable. It's all valuable. And like this is where I get a little disappointed with Disney Plus, because you think there's infinite resources, and you think that they drop Eyes of Wakanda, we should be able to have special features and all these little things that we can drill into the series with. And the weird reality is they need traction. So it's like what Eyes of Wakanda needs to do monumental numbers for them to do a reflection episode or something, like an update episode, and like, oh, these are the people that brought you that thing you love. I think Eyes of Wakanda already with these 4 episodes will stand the test of time. I think it will be mined infinitely. I think it's to be studied the way it expands the lore. It leans into it. It doesn't break it, which is so interesting. And I know some of these are platitudes, but it doesn't break what we know from the movies. It adds to it in a very odd way. It adds to it in these like little tidbits of how the world works. And that's almost like the Star Wars effect, where again, like going into the mid 90s, where the expanded universe, the novels that worked, the comics that worked, they would just add these little tidbits, and it would just make the movies better, and would make what you had just read, because that's really what we had in the 90s. I think Wakanda Forever is, I mean, you could watch these episodes, 2 hours worth, go into Black Panther 1, go into Wakanda Forever, go into Ironheart, and you again, like, the world starts to bleed. And that to me is, that's the entertainment part of all of this, and that's where the power of streaming and the ability of dropping things and be able, the ability to have things instantly available. I think that's, again, like, it's a world for us to explore, and I think it's there. I really do. So bravo, Todd Harris.
Okay, that's a wrap.